Sup, yeah, Joe, my recording is AM. Yeah, still being, sick. Alright, yeah. So, this past week or so for me making this video, today is actually it's Halloween, the last day of October, the 31st, 2023. I'm actually sick, which sucks ass, but it's okay. So because of my eye thing, right, it's actually stands out more with this lighting. I had to like chill out with playing video games, right, especially video games where there's like a lot of movement going on, because me actually moving my eyeball around, because this thing is actually gotten so big that's actually rubbing against the eye, it starts to irritate it and it can make my vision blurry. The bump actually starts to like distort like the outer layer of my eyeball, and it kind of makes my vision blurry, right? So I had to like chill out on doing a lot of strenuous activity with my vision, right? So I decided, well, let me try to like do almost like online class or some editing, right? Then stream it and see how that works. I learned a few things, so I want to talk about it. Not everyone that watches my content is an editor. I guess they don't know enough about editing to ask certain questions to learn more about editing while I'm editing or doing something, right? So there's that. Also another thing, and probably this is like the main thing I want to talk about, is that I know a lot of people don't have an ultra wide monitor. So basically what I did is, for the most part, I edit on a 2K ultra wide monitor, which is 3440 by 1440. I basically just scaled my screen down to a 1080p monitor to stream it. I kind of want to talk about that. I mentioned this before, and this is kind of like I want to try to like sell my my opinion on this, is that if you are interested in working, actually editing, you're definitely gonna have to get a ultra wide monitor. There's just no ways around it. In regards to like overall resolution, you can not get a 4K monitor. Having a 4K is nice, but you don't need it in regards to editing. But what I would suggest is getting a 2K ultra wide monitor. The extra digital space that you have lengthwise and being 2K is definitely a lot more comfortable to work on a 2K monitor ultra wide than it is on a 1080p. Because when it's 1080p, everything's just basically jam packed into a smaller screen. You know, everything's jumbled. It doesn't really like help you out as much as an ultra wide is, and that's basically what's been my experience. When I started working with Paul, you know, for budget reasons, I mainly had a lot of 1080p monitors, right? You could, you know, just bump two 1080p monitors together, and then basically, you know, extend the layout of that. You know, from my understanding, you can do it that way. Or you can just get a bunch of 1080p monitors and then, like, you know, spread your windows across and all this shit. So you can do it that way also, right? But it does get to be too much. It can take up a lot of like desk space, you know, wiring, electricity and shit like that. So having one good ultra wide monitor is gonna be beneficial, right? If you go to Amazon, and I'm just using Amazon because it's like easier, right? Overall picks, I mean, you can get a good ultra wide monitor, you know, 3440 by 1440 for $300. And be careful, do not get a ultra wide 1080p monitor. Fucking avoid these pieces of shit. Do not get a 1080p ultra wide. All right, please do not do that. Make sure you're getting a 2K ultra wide monitor, please. Fuck. Definitely want to make sure you guys dig that into your brain, because 1080p, like the font and the overall work environment is just too much. You know, it's too compact. It's just uncomfortable to work with. A 2K monitor is like the perfect amount of space, so you can like still be able to read the fonts and still have enough space to have all your windows and stuff like that properly portioned, so you can work comfortably. You will not regret having an ultra wide 2K monitor, right? So far for me, in regards to gaming, I'm okay with 160, you know, especially with side scrollers and stuff like that. Now, obviously, if you want to do any competitive stuff, then that's completely different. Then that's when you want to get a higher refresh monitor, right? And if you want to do like shooters and shit like that, that's when you probably want to get like a 1080p, you know, 240 refresh rate monitor. That's completely different, right? But in regards to like working, get something that's like 160, you should be fine. And I say 160 because that's mainly what they all seem to be, you know, 165 and 175, you know, whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of these are like, they go up to like 1,000. I don't suggest them. Maybe it's like the brands, the OLED, you know. And this is another thing I don't like about buying monitors, and I experienced this with Paul. Paul gets a new monitor every other month, right? Because, you know, just for his job. They're so expensive, but they're so fucking delicate, and that's just so annoying as fuck, right? you have no idea. Like there's been times where like we're working and like out of nowhere he noticed like the monitor that you're using, there's a crack. It's like, what the fuck happened? They're expensive as fuck, but they're so delicate, and I just despise that so fucking much. For something that costs like $1,000, they should be able to like stop a bullet. I mean, kind of exaggerating, but I mean, like, if you're gonna bump it, it should be able to withstand that. Maybe the most get like a little scuff mark, but if it gets cracked and when you just barely touch it, that's just stupid. For $1,000, fuck you. So that's why I suggest just get like a monitor. Say like this guy, maybe $400 the most. 160 hertz, 3440 by 1440 display, standard RGB. That's good. You know, you should be fine with this, right? So yeah, if you want to get a ultra wide monitor, just make sure you budget $300. You don't need anything too crazy than that, right? You know, I like Amazon because you can like filter out, say 3440 by 1440, filter that out. Let's look at Gigabyte. I think this is the one that Paul was suggesting. Yeah, this guy, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Paul was suggesting a Gigabyte brand because they had like a lot of like specific details that were good. 120, 1440p. It's curved. It has like a good response time and some other features I guess will benefit you. Now in regards to like curved or not curved, the monitor that I'm working is flat. The idea with having a curved monitor is basically, think of it like as your head is pivoting, I guess like the curvature kind of like helps to like, you know, compensate for the movement of your head, right? So instead of something being flat and then as you look at the corner, you know, it kind of gets skewed because, you know, the monitor is flat. By the monitor being more curved, it kind of like just helps compensate to give more of a flat feel, I guess. I haven't messed with it. I don't know much about that, to be honest. So far I got flat. It works fine. If you want to get the curved one, sure. Something you want to look into that, you know, go to like a store and like, you know, maybe get a feel for it, curved versus non-curved, right? But yeah, whatever brand you go with, like I said, just $300 should be a good budget for an ultra wide. All right, so don't worry too much about getting all the other fucking bells and whistles. $300, you'll be fine. Fuck it. But anyways, yeah, ultra wide monitor, you're gonna have to get one. I strongly suggest it. You know, $300, you should be good. That's all I have to say. Thanks for hanging out with me. Talk to you later. Peace.